Greetings everybody. I am Priya Thakkar, a reporter from Indians News, and today we have with us a young entrepreneur who believes in living the easy life in the global corporate world, juggling his time, planning, strategizing, investing, traveling, and playing golf. He is the founder of the online fashion site and is also the CEO of Egress Enterprises. I could go on and on and on about the achievements he's managed to jam pack in 32 years, but that would take all day. So let's meet him. Welcome, Munish. Thank you for giving out your time and agreeing to do this interview.
Pleasure is all mine, Priya.
So, you do not only have your name stamped on Earth here, it's soon going to be on Mars. What is that all about?
I just participated in an online campaign with NASA, and then suddenly I got this boarding pass that they are sending my name in a microchip to Mars.
Okay,
Yeah,
that
that
is
was kind of surprising for me as well.
that is a really big achievement.
Thank you, thank you.
Congratulations. So, your father, Mr. T.C. Jindal, he has the perfect rags to riches story. He is an example of how hard work and only hard work can bestow success. And you've also described him as your icon. So, how was growing around such an honest and diligent personality affected you as a child and really made up your personality?
Yeah, that's why I mentioned that he's the only icon I follow in my life. Because whatever values I got it from him. And the foremost value he inculcated in me is like hard work. He
Yeah.
says like, be good, think good, do good, and good would come to you.
Yes.
So that's what I follow. And growing up, being with him along with is through the hard work. Like I mentioned that I started working early with him, offered my helping hand to him, and that's how where I am today. That's what made me.
So, how would you describe your growing up years as like how are they formative to the success that you've gotten today?
Well, see, like when I saw my father working too hard, and I gave myself to him. And so I came early in the business with him. So what I assume, he gave me very good education. And I do believe that education is a necessary part of our life and it makes you a better human being. But it's the real world, the real challenges, and the practical life that you live that brings out a real human being out of you. So when I started working with him early, I got to taste the corporate world real early. I came across people and I used to like see people or meet people and negotiate with the people who were like into their late 50s when I was just a kiddo. So that brought me to the realities of the real world.
So you seem to be a core believer in the theory of karma. Uh,
Yes, I do. I do.
so how what experience could you give us that reinforces the theory into you if you have any?
See, well, like when you're young, you tend to run real fast, and you want results of things pretty quick. Like if you have done something in the morning, being young, you want their results by the evening. So that's what even I used to do when, like, in my earlier years, I used to run too fast, and I wanted results pretty quick, pretty early, and that's called chasing life. I used to chase life, and then I found out that I wasn't getting the kind of results that I was expecting. Then I went into relaxing mode, laid back mode, like do your good, just be laid back then. And then I realized life was coming served on a platter for me. Like the things that I was looking for, that I was chasing for, they weren't coming to me. When I went into a relaxing mode and just sat down without, I wasn't thinking about them, and they came to me in full, and that too at totally unexpected time.
That's a very important concept to inculcate. So you've studied under scholarship for 5 years in a row, which is
Yeah.
pretty remarkable. And then you proceeded to pursue an MBA with distinction in the UDS, in the UDS University City.
Yep.
How do you think that experience opened you up?
See, like moving to an international arena gives you kind of an exposure. while you're studying in India, like in your home country, you do know people around you, you do know the culture around you. But once you move to a foreign land, then you come to entirely different place. And choosing Australia was my own decision, just cause that Australia is a land of multicultural people. You would find people from all walks of life there: Europeans, Brits, Germans, Americans, Australians, Italians. So spending time along with them gave me a global exposure, and that made me a better human being in myself. And now if I'm working in an international arena, the things are easier for me. I know their culture, I know how to communicate with them, so that makes life easier, and that makes you a better human being.
Yes, it does. And you were also very humble and down to earth. And the thing is that you were worried about your spending. The money you spent were being spent in dollars, and you got them in rupees. So you did a very different thing with that. You were applying for jobs, but you weren't getting any because they said you needed Australian experience, uh,
Very
which is
true.
which is very it's a given that you won't have any because you're new there. So you
Hmm.
went up one day to a company and said that you want to work as a management trainee without pay only because you wanted experience. So could you tell us more about that? How did that go?
Yeah, when I moved abroad, like I realized my dad was making money in rupees back home, and I was spending that in dollars. My tuition fee, my living expenses, and that I kind of wanted to make money in dollars itself, so that if I'm in Australia, I make money into their currency and spend it over there. Then I realized I shall work for them. But when once I entered the corporate world there, I realized they are looking for Australian experience. So
Right.
I kept on knocking on their doors that I need a job, but nobody was willing to hire me because they asked for Australian experience. Then one fine day, I knocked to this company and I told them that okay, hire me into your company, maybe as a management trainee and don't need pay. And that's not in their culture, to be very honest. They
Right.
pay you on an hourly system.
Hmm.
They pay you for each and every minute you work for them, and that's not into their system. So the first question they fired on me was like, why without pay? I said that I don't have experience. Then give me the experience. So I worked with them for 12 days as a management trainee, and then I embarked upon my corporate journey in Australia. And within 2 years, I left them as an assistant district manager.
Okay, and you were also offered a hefty pay package for a corporate job there, but you rejected even that to come back. Why did you do
Yeah,
that?
that was after my MBA. Once I
Hmm.
completed my MBA, they gave me the permanent residency there. I'm the permanent resident of Australia, and they offered me a job in a bank, but I didn't accept it because, as you know about me, that I came into the corporate world pretty early. So there is a corporate blood in my veins. I wanted to come back to my home country, and I wanted to be an entrepreneur, and wanted to do something for my country, and I wanted to live in the country where I have been born and brought up.
That's very noble. So you value the your roots and creativity and
Yes, I
adventure.
do. I do indeed. That's what I believe keeps me rooted to Mother Earth. If somebody asks me like who you are, I say that I belong to Mother Earth, and these are the things that keeps me rooted to or keeps me grounded to Mother Earth.
That's a very good philosophy to follow. And
Thank you, Priya.
welcome. And then, how was your experience coming back here? You went into real estate, and you built everything from scratch ground. There was nothing given to you. So how was that journey?
Even I still remember when I came to India, India was going through boom, the real boom in the real estate, in the business world, or in the stock market. And once I entered, I tasted success quite early in those years, and so that made this business my passion. But as you know, like this is a cycle. This is a business cycle. The session two comes in, and then following couple of years down the line, the recession came in, real estate got bottlenecked, and that made me diversify. That made me got into this consultancy line whereby I signed up tie-ups with Swiss companies for their dye chemicals and all, and I started providing them consultancy. And meanwhile, during my real estate stint, I acquired this. very nice land of Chunk, uh, which is like surrounded by universities, colleges, and hospitals. And I want to do something good there, and that's a kind of my dream project. I'm still aspiring to do that.
Okay, so you also mentioned that there were some problems with that dream land that you acquired because the government somehow came in the way and
No, it's
demanded.
not the kind of Priyal, it's not the problem. If you study the Indian land revenue system, whatever kind of land you have, like you need to get it converted. That's called CLU, change of land use, so that you start a particular kind of work. If you want to open up a hospital, you need to get the CLU of a hospital. If you want to open up educational institute, you need to get a CLU of an educational institute. If you want to do some commercial activity, you have to get the CLU done accordingly. I wanted to put up a commercial activity over there for the nearby locales and for the students. And when I approached the government, the kind of the fee they told me, the official structure is like that. That was so hefty, and that was beyond imagination. That was even beyond the actual project cost, just the official fee alone.
Okay,
Yes.
so
So I
do
had to
you?
withdraw that project for the time being, but that land chunk is still with me. And someday, I'm hopeful, someday that government might lower down those fees and I would go with my dream project. But that somehow pinches me somewhere that a young, fresh graduate from my university comes back to India and he wants to do something for his country and for the locals around. I wanted to create huge job opportunities, different tax revenue streams for the government, but government was not keen to work on it.
We're all very hopeful that you get to do that. And
Thank you.
how do you disagree with the policies? Do you think that they have a lot? The government charges a lot, even to people who want to do good for the country.
Yeah, the government charges they're not high only for me. They're for everyone whosoever wants to
Yeah.
work. They're exorbitant for anyone or everyone whosoever wants to do that.
So why do you think that is? Doesn't that inhibit people from actually doing good and helping the government?
No, that's not helping the government. See, that is what I'm saying. Our political governance is such that they don't understand. The governance is still on the style of that 1947, the time we got independence.
Yes.
Okay, and they don't understand the contemporary times where they need to operate, that how they can develop a country. If you go back to Australia or if you go back to States, or even if you study the Chinese story, what China did, they opened up. They said that do whatever you want. If you have land, build up whatever you. There are no fees. Even government supported them with the low rate of interest loans and all, which Indian government is not able to inculcate into their system. If India and Indian government could do that, India would embark on a whole new growth story.
Yes, yes, that's noted. And you had a very strong family support system as you were growing up, and you still do. So, how do you think family support? How do you think family support really matters to an entrepreneur? How much does family come into the performance that an entrepreneur brings in?
See, I believe that if you have a close-knitted family, that's kind of foundation stone in your upbringing and in your success. Whatever you do, if you know that your family supports you, you are boosted, you get motivated, and just at the back of the mind, you know that whatever you're doing, even if that doesn't happen, you have your family to go back to, and you have your family who's supporting you. So that boosts your morale so much that you cross all the things that at some point of times looks impossible to you.
Okay, yes. You also have a varied interest palette. You're an avid reader, and you're also into writing.
Yeah, kind of. I used to write. That was long time back. I used to write for Hindustan Times. Couple of times I wrote it for them, and I was on an editorial panel of my college magazine as well. But now, being into the corporate world, I I'm not able to devote that much of time to writing because writing requires some well, good time, a peaceful time where you can ponder upon your thoughts. That I'm not able to do, but somehow still I sometimes try to write a blog or something to fulfill my those writing wishes.
Yes. Please don't stop. We would love to read whatever you come up with.
Surely, Priyal, surely I will try to do so.
And you're also into fashion. How can you be into everything? I just noticed that you got the most fashionable professional tag from the Times of India group. So, can we expect a ramp walk next from you?
Kind of, I already did one for Van Hussein. Van Hussein chose me as a most fashionable professional across India.
Yeah,
And I don't know how they did it. They just chose me and they featured me in Times of India on 13th and 14th of September. And the fashion thing, it just happened. Like every day, whenever I used to open up a newspaper, I find this e-commerce thing happening a lot. These
yeah.
e-com portals, they're doing a lot, like Snapdeal, Flipkart, and Amazon. And then I thought, why not to taste it? So, and then the fashion thingy came in my mind, and I started on with a fashion brand, and I took the e-commerce mode whereby I wanted to bring the fashion to every nook and corner of India. So this thing started off, it took well. So now it's outsourced to Snapdeal, and they are doing fair bit of their on their part, and it's doing pretty good.
So it's called Eswab, right?
Yes, it's SWAV, ESVAAV.
Okay. And so you spread yourself thin on so many fields. You're not stuck to one thing. You're actually trying to become a master of everything that you put sight on. So what can we expect next from Munish Jindal?
See, I don't know whether I'm being master of what. I read somewhere that don't put your eggs in one basket. And
Yeah,
as I told you, during the times of recession, I actually realized that. And so I'm still open for diversification. That is why I outsourced my fashion brand to Snapdeal. As I'm still open for diversification, I'm looking for more avenues. And as I told you, my dream project is still pending on that land chunk. You might
yeah.
see something coming up in future pretty soon upon that. So I'll
Sure, we'd
keep you
love
posted.
to. Yeah. And what would be your message to budding entrepreneurs here? Because your company has been able to withstand its performance to highs and lows. So you're really someone to look up to for the youth who are trying to come into entrepreneurship. So what would be your message to them?
See, the message that I would like to give to the budding and entrepreneurs would be like hard work and persistence. It pays. Don't look for shortcuts. Don't look for a quick results. Give your 1000% and be persistent on it and be dedicated to it. The results would definitely come. Sooner or later, they would definitely come, but be dedicated for it.
Great. I hope they pay heed to that. And so I'd quickly like to wrap this up with just one fact about you that you turned down a package of 60 lakhs in Sydney.
Mhm.
And then that at that time it would have seemed like to the world that it was a very stupid thing to do. But then you came and on your own terms, you worked hard, you did everything in your power that you could do at that time. And now you are the CEO and founder of various companies with the aggregate turnover of 100 crores per year. So, congratulations on that. It is a very big deal, and it actually is a great example to the youth today to follow their dreams. You are a real life example to the youth to follow their dreams, and that success will always come along. So,
Thank you,
thank you.
Priya. Appreciate that.
You're welcome, and thank you for taking your time out and agreeing to do this interview. It was a real joy to talk to you.
Pleasure is all mine. Thank you.